6 tips for lifting a carry-on bag into the overhead bin. Hi, I'm Lori, a senior solo traveler, and I've always been an advocate for packing only a carry-on bag so that you don't have to check anything. But the problem is, as I'm getting older, it's getting harder and harder for me to lift that bag up into the overhead bin. So I've learned a few tricks that I thought I would share with you. And at the end of the video, I'll share a tutorial on how to properly lift a bag. Number 1, pack light. Now, of course, this goes without saying, but I had to say it. You know, it is your best defense is to just start out with less stuff. Number 2, shuffle items at the gate. It's smart to put your heavier items in your personal bag, the bag you put underneath the seat in front of you, so that you don't have to lift it into the overhead bin. Makes sense. But then you got to carry it through the airport that way. And I know a lot of people would say, I will just stick it on my carry-on bag and roll it through the airport. But there are some airports that still have carpeting and inclines and ramps. And I've discovered it's very difficult sometimes to push that double load up a hill or on carpeting. So better, I put the heavy stuff in the roller bag and I have a lighter backpack that I walk through the airport with. Then when I get to the gate, I just do this little quick reshuffle. I try to be organized and I have everything. I just open up the suitcase, grab these heavier things out, stick them in my personal bag and zip my bag back up. Then I only have to get from the gate to the plane with this heavier backpack. I make sure I take the heavy backpack off before I try to lift my bag up. But I've been doing this reshuffle for years and it works for me. Number 3, take your time and get aligned. If you are like me, you don't want to be that person and hold up the whole line. So you tend to rush everything. But the problem is when you move quickly, you often move dangerously. So take a breath. If you've got a backpack on, take it off, put it down. Get yourself situated so that you are lifting directly underneath the bag. Anything is easier to lift if your base of support is underneath the item you are lifting. You actually have less power if you're twisting or reaching. This is the law of physics. Number 4, do it in stages. This isn't always possible. Sometimes planes are just really crowded by the time you get on. But if you can do it in stages, this can be helpful too, which means you take the bag and you put it on the back of a seat. And then you get yourself underneath the bag in order to push it. Then you'll have less of a distance to have to hoist it all the way up there. Number 5, work out. I have to say I work out 7 days a week and I do weight training pretty regularly. But even with all that training, it's still getting harder and harder for me to lift the bag up. But a few days before I travel, I do try to make sure that I've done some weight training in my upper body that will just get me in a little bit better place to have that extra oomph to push it up into the bin. Number 6, ask for assistance. Now I have to say this should be your last resort. You shouldn't count on assistance. And there are a lot of people who will say, if you need assistance getting it up, then you should check a bag. But we all know that checking a bag costs money. So if you're trying to avoid the fee, but you can't get it up into the bin, this could be your last resort. But don't count on the flight attendants to help you. Oftentimes, airlines have policies that don't allow the flight attendants to help you because they don't want the flight attendants to get injured. Lifting tutorial. When you get to the spot where you want to lift your bag, stand underneath it with your core tight, legs in an open stance and knees slightly bent, so that your legs can help propel the bag. Then grab your bag by the handle, hoist it halfway up with your opposite hand underneath the bag, then tilt the bag on an angle and push. For me, I can't wait in the middle position. I try to do it in one movement so that I can use more momentum. You want to avoid bending backwards or reaching sideways. Try to take the weight of the bag in your legs, not your back. There is one other method that you can try if you can't lift it that high. Do the same technique, but with the bag on its side, and just try to hook the top wheels. Once the wheels are hooked, twist the bag so that it is flat, then push it into the bin. This way, you only have to get the top wheels in, and once you get them hooked, you're able to twist the bag and then push it in. As always, if you have questions, feel free to ask in the comments section and check out the Senior Solo Travel website and Facebook forum where you can interact with other travelers. I've left links in the description below. And if you'd like to follow my senior and solo travel journeys, please like and subscribe. Cheers!